with that. Welcome to what will thousands of years ago be known as the moment that EOSIO Weekly became a historical phenomenon. I mean, we were among the first people covering, the death of Ripple, the birth of the EOSIO super network mind that comes out of the ashes. I'm sorry, even I don't believe this anymore. It sounded better. It sounded better in my head. Anyway, I have this deep fascination with people running historical analyses on the ridiculous things that we do. I'm having a blast with Jimmy. We're having a blast in general with all the stuff that is going on. It is our intent to talk about EOSIO related stuff. Obviously, we need to talk about Ripple because that's like, what is happening? What? And like Bitcoin's like, fuck you, I have rockets. So there's a lot to talk about. But we're going to end up not only talking about Minecraft, but talking from within Minecraft. Because we got a lot of stuff going on in there that we both think is very cool. So we're just going to do that. And in the interim, we're going to play the Chirpcast music because it's Chirpcast. If you're not on Chirp, what the hell's wrong with you? Go to chirp.la and then we'll just get rolling. The second I find the button. We still here? Is it still live? Did we die?
I'm still here.
Okay, that's good.
We're still live.
I have so much stuff open on this poor little computer, and I'm not on my big computer today. Anyway, we got one more song. Guys, please share this out. You know the deal. If you have a Waxcon address, throw it in the comments. And at least some of you, sometimes we have a couple of guests, and I can like hit people immediately. Most of the times we're getting so many Wax addresses now that I can't hit you all, but I promise that a very large percentage of you will get an NFT from me or from volunteers that work with me later on. So get your Wax address in the comments, and we will work to make sure that you get a benefit from that. But I want to listen to this tune because I know we made it, but like I like it, so that's how it's gonna work.
It's a really cool tune.
Right?
You get your head bopping hair on.
Yes. I don't know why it looks like this. It's terrible.
Light it up, burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up, burn
it's really good in a loud car, by the way. What the hell? All right. It's Gremlin Day on the EOSIO show today. So what they really found out 1,000 years in the future is that these guys have no fucking clue what they're doing. And they were relegated to the dustbins of history.
Yeah, they're like, what is this thing called a computer? I mean, when didn't they just wirelessly transmit things to our brains?
Right? Yeah, 2021 was the last year they didn't just wire shit to brains because Corey got so fed up that YouTube didn't work. They're like, screw it. Give me that good open AI. No, what is it, Elon?
It's like the opposite of Y2K. 2020 ends, and tomorrow we all wake up as half cyborgs.
Right. I would argue that we're almost half cyborgs now. Anyways.
burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up, burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up, burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up, burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up, burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up, burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up, burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up, burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. So light up, burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up, to burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Burn it down. Burn it down. Burn it down. Burn it down. Down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. 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 Gratitude rising up from the ground.
Yeah. I mean, that just worked out. I'm mostly I'm playing that because it's like a genuinely cool song, even though I wrote it. I feel pretty comfortable saying that. But like, it gets me. That's becoming the barometer, Jimmy, of how I'm reacting to all this stuff based on how much I just want it to be around. And it's a lot. By the way, I'm gonna post the link for the auction for the 101. Whoever wins this auction is not only going to get this historical NFT, but they're also going to be able to walk into Minecraft with us and press the button that Jimmy and I are going to show you in a minute. Maybe if you're good.
Yeah, so not my first rodeo with this, but kind of my first rodeo. My first time really in Minecraft, but I attended your live stream this morning with some really interesting, cool people. And kind of got the live view of that video for the first time with you and M Blue and Ken Bozak and a few other guys as well. And it was really cool, man. And I think, like you said, like you just get it, but everyone seemed to have got it. Like if you watch that live stream back, everyone's bobbing their head. You know, it's really, like it's a really cool concept for sure, man. And so this might be new to anyone who didn't read the post. Again, in the post. Below this video, which we always put out, there's all those links to all that's going on in EOSIO and in the Uplift space, which is where we are now.
Right.
So what's going on? What's this big like statue that we just looked at? And I guess we're in a broadcast studio now. It's underwater, but what's this big statue that we looked at? What is it? What's happening with that?
So you want to go see it?
Well, we can go see it at some point.
I mean, okay, you want to like we can wait too. All right, so we're in our little recording studio inside of the Uplift, which is our world in Minecraft, and so we wanted to make statue, basically an ode to this friend of ours who is sort of connected to the Minecraft space, the Burning Man space, sorry. And so we, I asked my team of people that have been in this world, sort of setting everything up, and they're kind of like the first colonizers, right? Like the first rocket of people to show up. That's who these guys are, and they're exceptional builders and really amazing people. And so I suggested like maybe we could like build a Burning Man and see what happens, right? And like 4 hours later, like, well, it's like we're not sure if it's big enough. We go over there, it's like, yeah, it's a building size, it's big enough. We're good. And of course, it's made out of flammable material. And then I was like, well, maybe we could invite someone in to come and press a button because there's mechanics in Minecraft that let you do all sorts of crazy shit that would then light the thing on fire, right? So you wouldn't have to know how to like do a flaming arrow, which is one idea that we had, which by the way would totally work. We might do that later on for fun. And when I was telling M Blue about it, he's like, holy shit, could we package this up and sell it as a land NFT? So that people would actually own that spot, which is our intention with this world, with the Uplift, and then they would have the ability. They would be the only ones that have the ability to come in and press the button. So we just went crazy with that. And now there is, the burning button NFT that is currently on auction. Currently, if I'm not mistaken, sitting at almost $520 since last night. And of course, we're raising money for charity this year to build a school in Haiti. And Blue and I and the Uplift team. So that'll be the first money that's going to be going to that. So we're super excited about that. And on Sunday morning, every Sunday morning we do church, like secular church. We all come and express some gratitudes. We share sunrise together in the cathedral. And after that, this week we're going to take a cool train ride that we built that's going to come down right next to the Burning Man. And then whoever wins that auction is going to be able to go through an invisible wall that nobody else can get through. If I've done my server stuff right, this is the first time I've done it, so hopefully this works.
Yeah, so it's basically it's guarded by this NFT, right? Like you the only person that can go in there to
That's
get
right.
in and touch the button is the person who has
Right.
this
And again, like
in their ownership, right?
this to be super clear. Like right now, we still control that at a kind of overt level, right? So like technically, I would have control too. Like I would be able to go in there too because I'm the server owner. Our firm intention is to make that connection between the NFT and the control of the access of that area of the game will be completely intrinsically linked. And there will be very, very little, if any, oversight over that.
Yeah, so that's my favorite concept about what I learned this morning in that show. Was I think
he's in Japan, by the way.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So so hang out for an hour and maybe we'll find something cool in Minecraft land for in the Uplift for New Year's. I don't know, but yeah, because only 50 minutes now until 2021, and that's kind of cool. But let's go back to this. One of the things that I thought was really cool this morning, or yesterday, was the fact that so the person who gets to press the button has this NFT, but also the person who has this NFT that presses the button, awesome things are probably going to happen, we think.
We hope. I asked them, the guys who build it, so how, I've been bragging about this a lot. So are we completely sure the button's going to work? They're like, yeah. Okay.
So then after whatever happens with the button, the cool thing is that person who has possession of that NFT, they'll actually be able to go in there and do whatever they want with the land. They'll be the ones that will be able to they can build a new one. They can, they can build I guess it's on a mountain, so you can't build another underwater studio, but they can kind of do.
No, you could. And this is something Ken came up with last night after we got off the air. He's like, because of how 3D this is, even if I get a small plot, I'm going to have the bottom layer is going to be a place where you can hang out. That's red light district. And then there's going to be, layers and layers and layers of places where you can come and hang out, and labyrinths. And of course, he was joking about wanting to make a giant penis that would, dive into the sky in glory as his little tribute to art, which should surprise no one. I mean, it is why we love the man. But he also said, what happens? Because you're allowed to walk anywhere, right? And, it is survival in the sense that if you fall from a great height, you will die. So he's talking about making traps. And if you lose your stuff, he could make a trap. And don't tell him this. Don't anyone tell him this. Because we do want you to be able to walk anywhere in the world, because we want you to be able to see stuff. We want you to be able to experience the things that Jimmy builds and that I build and that everybody else builds. You're just not going to be able to change anything, right? You're not going to be able to go in and affect that area, because we want to make sure that basically if you build it, it's maintained, right? But you can walk in to a trap, into a hole, and when you die, all your stuff pops out, and there's literally a way where you could funnel all that stuff into a box. So basically, he just could collect people's shit who wander into his yard.
Okay, well, I don't know, man. I didn't pay that much attention to anatomy in school, but I know enough to know that sounds almost the opposite of a giant penis. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, but there you go. I mean, he's got the yin and the yang, man. Look, that's just
Yeah, it's a penis move, but I like it. It's good. Yeah, definitely. It's in the link below. Listen to that video back.
Of course, it shows up. God damn it, Ken's ears were ringing.
No, it was good. It was a really good video. A really good crew of people there. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, but I like it. I like the idea that whatever you do on the land is locked. You had a couple good stories about that earlier today, but that's you could create whatever you want. And you guys have been in here for a long time. So again, this is, kind of a crypto-based show. I know you have a lot of followers in a lot of different areas, but do you want to maybe explain how this whole world started, and we can go for a walk at the same time as you explain it?
Yeah, let's. I love the walk and talks, man, and like nothing will explain how we start. I mean, this was the original intention, right? Like Greg came in here, my buddy Greg, who popped into the call last night. It was really fun. Built this goofy little recording studio, and he was fascinated with the idea of building it underwater, right? We build it underwater and have all the glass here and whatever. He's a nerd. And he's all excited about the sound booth that is over here that does literally nothing, but he's excited about it anyway. So anyway, that was the idea. We wanted a podcast in here, kind of like we're doing now, right? And start messing with it. We've seen a lot of other people in the space that were kind of starting to mess with that, and we wanted to play with it. We didn't really know what we wanted to do. We just knew we wanted to kind of start doing recording some podcasts in game and stuff. That's the railway, by the way, which looks fucking badass.
Yeah, this railway just got built, right? And this railway will be the key to getting to the monument on Sunday.
The monument is you can actually just see a shadow of the monument if you squint now. That's how far away it is. Anyway, so we were literally on this spot. We were walking around, and we were really heavy into politics. We're kind of moving away from it now because it's kind of annoying. We'd rather build something that is kind of more fun. But we're in here thinking about just making a big huge fuck you. Like we would interview you, Jimmy, as an example, and the act of building together we knew was kind of critical, right? So it's okay. We just needed to take these red blocks and make a line between this spot and this spot, right? You'd make that line, and we'd have our conversation while we're doing it, talk about whatever we're talking about, robots or fucking technology or whatever.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you just got burned. Don't walk through fire.
Sorry, man. I don't.
Hey, you're new. What are you gonna do?
I know you got me kind of freaked out because I'm standing here naked. I'm helpless if somebody. At least you have an axe, man.
You're a girl.
I'm not a girl, am I?
I mean, in the game, a little bit of girl.
Really, I specifically tried not to. I think the red hair suits me.
I'm a fan. I think it works out really good. Anyway, so our buddy Bob comes in and he literally places these wooden blocks right here, and he says, "Okay, I'm really grateful for you guys." And he posted up there, and I can't. It might actually still be on here. He put this up: grateful to laugh and play with my friends. He put literally this sign up. This is a year ago, and I looked at it and I was like, I'm kind of grateful for fellowship. And then I just put, I'm grateful for failures because this is true. Fail fast all the time. And later on, somebody came up here and said, I'm grateful for this server, and it just started filling up. People wanted to come in this server and like put something on here. Grateful for the 5-minute journal. This is like 10 months ago, right? And something kind of snapped in me. And, I made this block and made this block, and I knew we wanted to do that. And I'm like, well, okay, so then I'll make this one, and then I'll make this other one over here. And then I was like, well, we could do this like polished stuff. So like, let's make a monument out of it. That'll be cool. And then I made all those ones. And then Greg helped me make all these ones. I'm like, well, fuck, we're going to need a building. So we made a big building.
Yeah. So this is the building that you guys dubbed the cathedral.
This is Cathedral 1.0. One of the coolest parts, and you can see like we knew we needed a new one because we had to start using the walls. So I'm so grateful Madeline and Leon come to church. So Madeline and Leon are my niece and nephew, and this is my my aunt actually, who brings them in all the time. Leon is a huge. He's like 7 or 8. Helped build the pillars for the new cathedral. So like we want to make sure that the world is going to be. You're going to be able to secure access to land through NFTs, and you're going to be able to do whatever you want on that land, right? But we wanted the central part, the gratitude part, to really be a place where we could come together and work on community and positivity. Anyway, I don't know if you guys have ever seen The Pale Blue Dot by Carl Sagan. It's basically just a picture of like a 1-pixel picture of the Earth in a dust mote off past Saturn. So anyway, this is a stained glass version of that scientific epic photograph up here.
Yeah, so for those of you that might not know, because we just basically get on here and talk about crypto, but like any well-rounded individuals, we have, more than, just crypto and more than ourselves, to be honest. So yeah, one of Corey's big joys in life is exploring, the molecular level of shit like atoms and amoebas, and there's some reason to wander around in this game because there's some attributes to those things in here as well that have been created as well. You know?
Yeah, we can check that out if you want. And this is, you know, especially working with M Blue and so many other creative people, they start getting all these insane ideas, right? Which insane in the best possible way.
Yeah.
So okay, so Settlers Point. So yeah, this is the village. Did they do the established thing on this? Established 2019. Population 30. Nerds. I keep finding stuff I've never seen before in this world, which is super fun.
I like the part about your niece and nephew coming in though. Like that's really cool. It's funny because you know my we did recently a interview with Adrian from Wombat, and I have a nephew who lives in North America who I don't see very often. I mean, I didn't meet him until he was almost 8 or 9 years old, and it's funny because my brother always tells me what he wants to do is he started his own YouTube channel where he goes online and he like plays games and just basically him and his sister. Yeah. And that's like what he wants to do, right? And after our video, I sent my brother like a copy of the video and I'm like, dude, like he can go online and like play like games and get cryptocurrency and stuff through WomPlay. And it's funny because like this morning after the live show, like I sent him that live show as well. And I'm like, hey, does he play Minecraft? Like, let's go hang out. Like, it's pretty awesome, actually. Like, I'm like the you know, you said before the nerds, but like, I'm like the nerd that became a nerd through blockchain. Like, that's going to be a thing someday.
So, like, for sure. Absolutely. Like, absolutely. And we've been hearing reports, by the way, this is my ode to a hydrogen atom up here. And somebody clued in that it was, you know, potentially inspired by Dr. Manhattan. I'm just going to admit it right now. It's totally inspired by Dr. Manhattan. And, you know, there's a science motif or whatever. We, all of us, are what happens when a primordial mix of hydrogen and helium evolved for so long that it begins to ask where it came from. You can see those signs up on this path if you want to. So it's just a monument. And we're expecting there to be tons of these everywhere, right? For people that kind of dig making these big builds and kind of setting an attention and doing that kind of thing. You know, the space is open for that. But, you know, we were talking this morning with a few people about how, you know, Nifty Wizards could, you know, bring, you know, crew in game into a big chunk of land and actually start, you know, finding NFTs in their land and like using them for special power-ups just in the confines of their territory, right? So this is the Voyager probe. You can actually read this book. It tells the whole story about the Voyager probe. And you can see it down there. It's like a little model. I didn't build that one. That's Russ. He's sort of our he's just making us all look bad. He's freaking awesome. Anyway, so this is what the giant DNA molecule looks like at night. I kind of feel like it needs more lights on it, to be fair. Anywho's in. The nitrogen in our DNA, the iron in our blood, the carbon in our apple pies were made in the interiors of collapsing stars. We are literally made of star stuff. Now, are we nerds? Probably, but it's good.
Yeah, but you know what? Like,
did I lose you?
No, I'm here. This is the world that we live in. I'm old enough to know when I didn't have the internet in my pocket.
Right.
And I was thinking about this yesterday, actually. I was thinking about, like, I took a, you know, very basic MS-DOS computer programming course when I was in high school. And I hated it. I was like, all this work to fucking press a button and, you know, turn out an LED light bulb on. Like, well, what's the point of computers? This computer thing's never going to take off. It's retarded. computers are for you know, kids, you know, and like, you know, Commodore 64, fine to play some games and do some cool stuff, but I mean, realistically speaking, you know, if you're there's no train coming, right?
Hopefully not. Yeah, it will just stop though. It'll just bump into you and then it'll stop.
So I was just thinking about it because I was like, you know, what's interesting about it is oh shit, where I am.
Did you fall?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, hold on here. I'll teleport you to me. This is why everyone is going to want to fight like heck to get the teleport ability. Boink.
Oh, sweet. Thanks. Just in time for the rain. Nice. Yeah, so I was thinking about this, and it's funny because, like, you know, we've been doing a lot of interviews with a lot of projects, and EOS in particular is good at a few things, right? And I think one of the things that they're really good at, even though the majority of the world doesn't recognize this, they're really good at gaming, I think. They're really like, there's a lot of really cool games like Wombat Wallet allowing you to earn cryptocurrency for games. Blankos just came out. That was one of our news articles this week. I mean,
yeah.
Somebody named the Whale. This Whale project is basically sponsoring a contest that ends in, they said 23 hours, 3 hours ago, so very, very soon, whereby you know, a bunch of maps will be judged, and people can get, like, you know, real world, you know, cryptocurrency for this. I mean, you look at art on the blockchain, like, blockchain is no longer for children. It's like, and so when I was talking to my nephew about this recently, and my brother, you know, about him wanting to be a YouTuber, I said, dude, you got to find your niche, because the thing is, it's like, you know, these kids that are YouTubers now, like, they're going up against people who are like 50 years old. Like, there's like 50-year-old YouTubers who play games for a living, and that's like all they do, right? And like do online art, and like, you know, NFTs.
You fall down again? There's like, that's weird. I think I'm being poisoned. That'd be weird if I died. That's strange.
I think I'm in one of Ken's fucking booby traps here.
You might be. Here, let me get past this. Yeah, they made this thing. I don't know why it's like poisonous in here, which is interesting.
There's got to be a way to get out of it.
Yeah. I don't know. We haven't really made any steps up to the railway yet, so I'll just teleport you again.
Okay.
We did. We literally built all of this railway shit in the last, 48 hours.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess on Sunday the train will come and pick people up, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have a whole pile of rail cars, and you basically just get in it. You see, every once in a while, you see the red and gold railway pieces. So these are powered. So it's literally like once you get in and you like press forward enough to get you moving just a little bit, you do nothing. You can just like look around, and the entire thing is powered the whole way, and you'll just get whisked to the thing. Oh, here's the Hobbit house. Awesome.
Yeah, you were looking for that earlier today.
Yeah, I did. This is my first time seeing this. Oh, I almost freaking walked off the edge. How adorable is that? Very. That's how adorable that is.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we were gonna walk and talk about EO style stuff because that's our show, and then we could.
No, we kind of. God damn it. I mean, it's because I'm watching two screens at once. Sometimes.
Yeah. You gotta watch. You gotta watch your own screen. Here, hold on. I'll get you.
No, that's all right. But yeah, I think there's like a lot that's going on. There's a couple cool things that I think we want to talk about, but we definitely want to talk about what's going on with the Uplift. But like you, I have like 10 windows on my computer open. But a couple things that I wanted to go over is we always try to pull out some stories from the news. Pull out some stories in the news that's kind of interesting. There we go. Okay, actually, I'm gonna try it this way. Let's see. Maybe.
All right, how about you go first? Just follow the railway. There you go. And he's off. He's around a corner.
I keep flipping back and forth between my mouse and the
trackpad.
Yeah, I'm not sure which I like better. As a video game, maybe.
And they even like put. Those guys are so awesome.
Yeah. So right now, as it stands, this is the Uplift. This is what we're walking through, right? We're walking through the Uplift, and the Uplift is going to be a pretty cool place where lots of people can come and build lots of different things. And we are working on, this will be essentially the first NFT that will go with the statue that's, connected to a button to make shit happen. So I think it's going to be really cool to see what what people can do. Like you were talking earlier, right? And there's a lot of possibilities. We've already got some ideas in the works. And Blue is talking about building an amphitheater, you said, which is going to be really cool. Uplift Art had quite a few updates, like at the end of the year. If you're subscribed to the Uplift Art email list, then you already got that big email blast at the end of the year, but you know what that is. And we're still burning. Allowing people to burn NFTs to get like special editions. Like you said, the next event, the Burning Man auction event, I believe it started already and it finishes on Saturday. Is that correct?
Yeah. So the auction is going to finish Saturday night. And we will of course announce the winner Saturday night and make sure that we can get the winner in the game, if at all possible. They can of course delegate it too if they don't want to press the button. And then after service at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Sunday, we'll head down there. Everybody's gonna head down there on this train, which we should actually practice because I haven't actually used it yet. And then we can rock and roll.
Yeah, and it's gonna be really cool. I think like there'll be a group of people. You'll probably be busy teleporting a lot of people that fall off of shit.
Definitely, that's gonna happen.
It'll be super fun.
Leave map it out. So this is outgoing trains to Burning Man is on the right hand side. So we are not England. Incoming trains. It's gonna be this side. And they put this cactus there. I don't know if you can see this over here, Jimmy, on the other side. They put this cactus here so that the second that you hit it, it actually destroys the cart, and then you're just standing there. So it's automatic. I'm gonna actually have to get a couple of mine carts, which I will just. This is the other thing too. Like we're gonna be getting rid of everybody right now has op control, so they could basically just like do what I'm doing now, which is to create stuff. That's gonna be going away.
Yeah, well, obviously, if you're gonna bring in-game economy to it via leasing rights and other rights that NFTs will provide. And that's the cool thing about this. Like we talked a lot last week about like Alien Worlds and what they're doing and this amazing kind of thing that they're doing and Wax as well. I mean, there seems to be this really big push right now for a lot of EOSIO projects to be connecting with Ethereum, which I think is great. I mean, you've got the new model from Wax that should be coming out. Soon, which will bridge Ethereum. Alien Worlds is bridged to Ethereum, and I think what you're going to see in the future is a lot of different bridges towards various games, right? And if you think about like in-world game economies, it's crazy because you buy shit and then you have all this shit, but then you just have to keep buying shit. It's a great business model, but like it's not necessarily built for the players, right?
Right.
It's like if you go to a used car shop. It's like if you go to a car shop and you buy a car and then they say, oh, well, you already have a car, but we're not going to trade that in because we don't do that. It's kind of like, what do you mean you don't do that? Like, it's crazy that games don't allow you to sell stuff. But one of the reasons that games don't allow you to, sell stuff that you've bought is because there's been no market for that. And I think that's what's really cool about this like NFT system is like, we've seen projects like Prospectors do it. We've seen Upland do it. You have these NFTs that will essentially allow you to it's kind of like real life. I don't look at the people I'm talking to. There we go.
What you should do is try get your mouse and right click on this minecart right on the train track over there.
Right click. Okay, sure.
Now you're in it. Now press forward and just hold the forward button for a little bit.
Okay. Whoa.
Now, just feel free to look around.
Okay. Wow. That's like way easier than walking.
Yeah, it is. It totally is.
How did we? That's pretty cool. I mean, I live in a country that I ride the train, almost every day, but
Yeah.
that my train ride isn't near this cool.
Right?
Yeah,
Get some sunset action.
I know.
Sadly, I'm not on my computer that has the Optifine, the really good stuff on it.
I want to hook a projector up to my phone and then just like play this while on one of the windows while I'm riding the train and see how the people react. Like, what's and then at the end, just
cool
the
too.
uplift. What are you doing while you're on the train?
Right? Exactly. Exactly. So we should be coming up. If I'm not mistaken, if you look to your left, you'll be able to see our Hobbit house.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's right there. I can see you. That's kind of cool too. Rocking away. Oh, and we're coming up to the train station. That's cool.
Yeah, I was live the first time I saw this. I had no idea they had built this. It is so clutch. Did you stop?
I ran into a cart.
Oh, okay. I got you. Hopefully.
I think somebody left a cart on the.
They did. Those efforts. I got you. Don't worry about it.
Somebody got out of the train station.
There we go.
Okay.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
Oh, there we go. I sent the cart. All right.
There we go. Should be good now.
So yeah, I think like the in-game economy stuff is going to be huge, and
I think so too. Did you stop again?
No, I got it. Maybe, I don't know. And like, yeah, I think that idea is just smart, right? Like you always refer to things like Ready Player One, and
yep.
What's happening, and like I don't know, man. Wax is going to be a big part of it. I mean, there's so many like IP rights that are already connected to it. So many great things that are already happening. This new model, I think that's going to be just amazing. You look at someone like Ken Bozak, who you guys had on earlier this morning. Like,
yep.
That guy's involved in like just about every. I don't know how you can keep up. Like he's involved in just about every.
I don't know. I don't even know all the things that he's into right now.
But
it's just impossible to keep up.
It's great. Like we went over a big review last. Who left this cart here? Can I like?
Yeah, here, hold on. I'm gonna go and beat it up.
I think I got it. I think I threw the cart off the track. Maybe. There's a cart down there. Somewhere.
I got it. Boink.
Oh, you got it. How did I get in front of it? Oh, maybe I got into the new other.
I think you might have got into the new one. So good job. That was very well done. You get points for that for sure.
Oh, nice. So yeah, so I like this idea too. Like I don't know what we're allowed to. I kind of know what we're allowed to say. I'm just going to repeat all the things that I already put out there. But that's what I like about this too. It's like you were talking about something in this world where you'll get like explorer points, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Right? Like people will be allowed to explore different areas and different regions, and the center of I see something on the right. It looks like a giant man, reaching to the clouds. I wonder what that could be. Yeah, it's going to be like really. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how all of this stuff kind of interacts when it. Sorry, I think you have arrived at your destination. Thank you for keeping your hands and your feet inside the cart at all times.
Man, that looks more badass every time I see it.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. So yeah, this is the image or the sculpture that was attached to the beginning of the video, which is already attached to the NFT on Atomic Hub. So if you want to go there and you want to burn the sucker to the ground, you can do that.
Can you follow me over here? We're gonna run a little test here.
Sure.
Oh, come on over here, buddy. Come on over here.
Come on, don't talk. I can't do it, man. I'm denied.
So and again, eventually I want everyone to be able to walk everywhere, but you're not going to be able to do anything, right?
Yeah.
But to kind of prove the point for this weekend, I set up an invisible wall so that only people that have ownership of this region can come in here. So when somebody gets the ownership of it, I'm actually going to transfer it to the person that owns the NFT. Because we're going to sell NFTs that give permanent access to land in this world.
And you can pretty much do whatever you want with that land.
That's exactly it. You can build anything here that you want. It's going to be entirely up to the person that owns the NFT. Just gonna be freaking rad. It's purple wood. I've never seen purple wood before. Weird. Okay. So yeah, what else you got? What do we have? What were we supposed to cover today before we started having too much fun?
Well, it's funny because I think we can talk about whatever we want, and this is the whole reason. Like, I like to put the post together because if we don't get to it, I think it's
in the post.
Yeah, and I mean, I really hope that people enjoy us just rambling and doing stuff like this. But if they don't, I enjoy it, so I'm kind of okay with that.
Me too.
I mean, it's crazy like that I met you. It's just weird that I met you. Like it's almost looks like a duck from down here. It's a little bit like, things are meant to happen, I think, and like people are meant to collide. And unfortunately, one of the reasons that I really liked EOS is when I got into EOS, it was the most beautiful community around, right?
Yep.
Unfortunately, sentiment has gotten quite bad. Probably revolved around the price. I wrote something today that I, kind of basically stated like, the price is essentially it's flat in EOS if you look at what's happening in Ethereum and if you look at what's happening in Bitcoin. Now, I mean, again, I'm not financial advice, but if you are invested only in Ethereum, you're an idiot. Sorry, if you're invested only in EOS, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. You should never be invested in EOS because, I mean, if you're heavily invested in it, that's okay. But if you look at what's happening, if you're paying attention at all to what's happening in the Bitcoin space, like in the cryptocurrency space, Bitcoin has been leading the space for a really long time. And you actually pointed this in me in the direction of this. There was a thread by Dan Held, who's a big Bitcoin guy. And he basically was talking about the fact that this isn't a regular Bitcoin cycle. This is going to be a Bitcoin super cycle, the likes of what we have never seen before.
I am inclined to agree. Now, it should be noted, though, that they nicknamed him Mr. Big, mysterious friend of M Blues. They did an awesome sort of macroeconomic discussion. You can go on to MBlue Crypto on YouTube and find that. It's really, really good. And they talk about the capital flows. So, our banks and companies, large institutions, trying to get as much Bitcoin as they possibly can in a reasonable way. Yes. Is that going to make the price go completely bananas? Yes. Is Ethereum already experiencing chunking to the point where transactions are getting to, between 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks? Yeah. So as those things become more and more expensive, the actual use cases that were sold, especially for Ethereum, in my opinion, where it's like, oh, a big world computer or whatever, whatever. If you can only do, a transaction for 20 bucks, well, it's not that good, right? You can't, there's some things that you can do, right? If you're selling $1 million piece of art as an NFT and the transaction cost is 20 bucks, no one's going to care. But if you're trying to, run a game where every time Jimmy walks around all over the place, like every 5 minutes, he finds an NFT lying on the ground and it jumps into his blockchain wallet, sends him a pop-up and goes, hey, you found a Wanderer class NFT. And now you make 10% more one-up for wandering around. He's going to be like, holy shit, we could never do that on Ethereum. We couldn't even think about it, right? Because the cost is so completely high. And whether it's DeFi or anything else, we're going to see capital flow into EOSIO like places. And with what they're talking about with the Bitcoin thing, again, like I'm in the show me state now, like we'll see what they do, right? Like the Block One can say a lot of stuff, and they've recently said at least something, which is great. We're going to see what they can do with wrapped Bitcoin, because I think that's a really good idea. And if it gets done, it could bring a lot of liquidity to EOS, which brings attention. And in a bull market, things can happen, right? So I'm not in the camp of like definitely get rid of all of your EOS. I still have some, but it's less than 10% of my portfolio now because I'm not sure.
Especially if you didn't buy more because the price is so stagnant and everything else is going up. Not everything else is going up. I mean,
well, and the long-winded point that I'm trying to make is that the fact that this and wax, frankly, aren't going up right now is not a big deal.
No, like, I don't think it's a big deal either. I'm actually kind of happy that it's not going up, to be honest.
Right. Yeah. Like, the longer it is, the more we get.
The more, especially wax. I mean, wax is honestly, dude, like wax is the worst coin ever created because like it's like seriously the worst coin ever created because it has the best use case. It has the best use case ever, and you can never keep it in your wallet.
You say worst. That means it's the best. Like if you you should hodl, but you're like, yeah, but I want to build a transportation empire inside the Uplift, which like I keep coming back to that over and over. Like you're gonna be able to get large plot NFTs that'll be like 500 meters by 500 meters. This plot here with the it runs basically from corner a little bit to my right over behind the statue is probably 60 blocks to a side, right? And so I think the smallest one that we're going to be letting out to people when we do the NFT sale is probably going to be 250 by 250. So imagine having 5 of these deep in every direction, right? So you're going to have a lot of land. Then there's the 500. It's going to be a lot better. But I keep going back to the small ones that are going to connect the cities that we're going to build. The transportation ones where, if you own the NFT for that part of the map, everybody who travels over it is going to kick out one up to you. So you are incentivized to build that kind of railway that we just saw, but you're going to have to connect it to the other person who owns the because it'll be a chain, right? It'll be a transportation chain where whoever owns the stuff on the side of it, you're going to have to coordinate with them to make sure that your railway actually works. And we have no idea how that's going to work. We just know that we're going to incentivize it enough to make it so that people have to work together on it or buy up a bunch of that land, which is frankly what I want to do myself, which is how I know it's going to work.
Yeah. And I think like that's the cool thing about it, right? Like so something people might not know about me, I had a small fashion business for a while.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And we made my significant other is quite talented in many ways, but we made I get into like artsy stuff, and we made a bunch of like really cool clothing that was made out of like old kimonos and stuff that we picked up, and like really cool fabrics like skirts, tops, dresses, like dress shirts for guys and stuff as well. And you could potentially replicate some of that clothing in this world and have it linked to like you could have a shop in here. This is what I'm thinking about. You could have a shop in here that was linked to the real world, and you could build something really cool. Like Man Blue's talking about building an amphitheater. There's some other ideas that are flying around of people like building stuff, and you have this NFT that says that like this land that I built the shop on is mine to develop. It's mine to do whatever I want. But there's nothing for me saying, okay, you know what, man, I don't have time for Minecraft anymore, or I think that the land that my shop is on is way too valuable, and I want to transfer this NFT into the power of somebody else's. You are actually taking what you do in the game, the building that you're doing in the game, the ability to create something in the game becomes, in a way, a monetized asset through the ability to be able to have those developer rights. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and that was where the discussion ended up yesterday. Is that you're going to have and I keep thinking like if this works, but from the number of people that we talked about that already went in, like this is going to work, right? We're going to do a little pre-sale. It's going to be a little bit of land around the cathedral. That's going to get snapped up with the people that actually see what we're going to be doing. It's going to sell out, which is fun, right? And we're going to have some suggestions about what to build, but we're not going to tell anybody what to build. And foot traffic gets you one up, gets you token, gets you coin in the game, right? And of course, it's going to be a blockchain token. You can do whatever the hell you want with it outside of the game. But you want that foot traffic, you want that value. So, Jimmy and I could like get a plot. Like, okay, what's the most amazing thing we can think of to build? Might be a monument, but if we were smarter than I am, and I know there's people that are thinking about this already that are super amazing at games, what if we made like a little game inside of this plot that has its own storyline, its own mission, its own thing? You can win the game, maybe click a button. I didn't even think about this. Click a button down at the end and automatically get an NFT if you can find it, right? Like there's a million different things that we're going to be able to do here to create value in a locality, right? So you're going to be incentivized to do that, because we could then make that game and then turn around and go, this thing is right next to a railway. It's right, within 5 minutes walking distance to the cathedral. It's an awesome game. Do you want to buy this for 10x what we paid for it? And somebody's going to say yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of really cool things. I was listening this morning to your I'm excited. I'm not a gamer. People probably don't know this about me, but I'm not a gamer. Like I don't play games. I don't have time for it, to be honest. Like I was saying earlier, like my deep ingrained in my brain is the fact that children play games and the rest of the people, they work for a living. But cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and doing this show with you and working, at Uplift Art with Blue and the countless other projects that, being part of, some really solid EOSIO teams like Genereos and stuff like that. This is all changing now, right? It's another one of our news stories is we did a interview with DeFi networks last week. It was an AMA with the Genereos team, which I'm, a little bit of a part of. I do some work with Genereos. The great team, great, interesting people, right? And one of the guys in the AMA, they said, what is something that we might not know about you? And one of the guys said, well, right now I'm working from my motorhome, driving around Australia. It's
yeah. I think I met that guy. Was he writing on Tribe a while back?
I don't think so. Maybe different guy.
There could be lots of people. But yeah, I remember that when I first saw Tribe for the first time, and this was right after, maybe a couple months after EOS launched. I connected with this dude on Tribe. He's like, yeah, me and my family are wandering around in a motorhome and we're just kind of doing this for fun. I'm like, that's how life should be. It's that makes a ton of sense to me.
Yeah, exactly. There's another guy as well. I can't remember his name, but he's really big in the Bitcoin community. Him and his family basically live off of traveling around and doing presentations on Bitcoin.
I like it. I approve wholeheartedly.
Yeah. And so like what you were saying, going back to the game, there's all of these mini gamification things that you could, envelop into it. Why not? I like your idea of the explorer, right? The nomad, the person who can jump from place to place. I don't know how to do it. This is my first day in the game, but fuck this shit, man. I'm gonna build a permaculture food forest somewhere in there, man.
See, this is the thing. Okay,
that's what I do.
Yeah,
World,
you and Greg need to talk. I'm gonna blow your mind, but I've been drinking coffee since about 4 o'clock this morning, my time, which is a long time. So I'm gonna run to the little boys' room. So I'm gonna play a tune. And because I don't want this conversation to be over, because we literally have some permaculture stuff to talk about, because that's going to be completely nuts. So let me share my screen, the other screen, and then we'll rock and roll in about 3 minutes. Because you cannot, as it turns out, hear this song too many times. At least I think I'm at 100, and it hasn't been enough for me. So there's that. All right, I'll be right back.
I'm going to take the interim as well.
Do it.
Burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up. Burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up. Burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up. Burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up. Burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up. Burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up. it up, light it up, light it up, light it up. So light it up, burn it down, gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up, burn it down, gratitude rising up from the ground. So light it up, burn it down, gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up, to burn it down, gratitude rising up from the ground. Burn it down,
Burn it down.
down, burn it down, burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. 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 Gratitude rising up from the ground.
That's going to be the other thing too. The reason I put that little record thing in there, we are fully expecting whole, like, you know, let's say we build, you know, like a permaculture thing, right? I can actually show you a machine that will automatically grow stuff and harvest it and grow more stuff in perpetuity. It's crazy. Greg did it.
Yeah,
It's
you were talking about that today, like that.
yeah, it's crazy pants.
Today.
But what I'd love to see is like, okay, like we, you know, is people launching kind of their own, you know, NFTs off this, right? Like the you know, you make a one of one NFT for the monument or whatever, and you can like have that and send it out there. Apparently, I'm by myself now. He must have hit the back button. I do that sometimes too. Well, you know what? There's nobody here. This is fun. This is what happens when we do this in the morning sometimes. Crypto people are like, what are you doing up this late or early? I'm like, I don't even know. Well, shit. Let's rock and roll. Thanks for hanging out, guys.